Good blessed Friday, October the 28th, 2022. The time being 8:48 a.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest or the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't even matter whether you are the proclaimed toughest or the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't even matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't matter whether you like me, what I say or do or anything. That's your prerogative. I've been getting a lot of calls for people that's needing help here in southeast Missouri, in southern Illinois, in the Carbondale, Illinois, Jackson County area, in the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County area, around in the Boot Hill period here in southeast Missouri. The thing is about job discrimination, housing discrimination, discrimination in the schools, and the people has been going to the NAACP here in Charleston, Missouri, and in Carbondale, Illinois, to no prevail. If you look at my YouTube videos, you will see what the NAACP in most of the 90% of the places what they stand for. Some of them not. NAACP to me doesn't stand for what it was originally supposed to stand for in the 1900s. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. It's a individual association for the advancement of certain colored people, not all. If you look at that banquet I was just there at in Carbondale, Illinois this past Sunday, and you seen all the people there, I probably was the poorest person there. I probably was the only person there that wasn't a part of some particular group, with the exception of the white family that I was sitting with. They were some nice people. But my thing is today is to tell y'all, you don't want to always depend on the NAACP. You don't want to always depend on Benjamin Crump, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. You see, most of them and most of these preachers today, you see, if your family member ain't murdered by a police where they can get a lawsuit, they don't normally even care. See, they don't care about the death of your child. If you see, the first thing they do is file one of these. This is federal lawsuits that I had filed. You see where that's at? You see that's in the United States, in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Missouri. You see who it is? It's Raymond, Ivy, etc. plaintiff, I'm the one filed, versus Flying J Incorporated. That's when they was in Matthews, Missouri. You see what this one is? This is Raymond Lewis Ivy versus Black Gold Farms. Y'all know Black Gold Potato Farms. These is federal lawsuits. You see, before I filed the federal lawsuit, I made my complaints. I made my complaints with Flying J because it was about 20 of us that was waited to be seated. Bishops, missionaries, some people call themselves prophets, and they passed by us and they kept on seating groups of white people. And we finally just seated ourselves. I went through the proper protocol. I asked for a manager. The manager there that day didn't want to address the discrimination. I went back the next day, talked to the assistant manager, and then the day after that, I went back and talked to the manager. The assistant manager and the manager was brothers. They didn't do nothing. I went to corporate. Corporate didn't do nothing. So what I did was I'm going to tell you in a minute and show you what I did before I had this filed. With this one here, at Black Gold, they had KKK on trash cans, 3 blue trash cans, one right after another, KKK on it, spray painted with black paint on a blue trash can, plastic. They was using the N-word, and when people complained about it, the general manager didn't do nothing. He just came from Mississippi. I was a supervisor there at the time, and when they came to me and told me, I told them to tell the manager. They said they told the manager, and I said, what did he say? He said, y'all use the N-word among yourselves, so why should you be offended if somebody else used it? But this one here, the Black Gold, it went to the federal court in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. It was first assigned to one of Rush Limbaugh's family members, and he recused himself because Rush Limbaugh law firm in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, was representing Black Gold. They settled out with me after the federal court. They didn't want to go to trial. It was filed, but they settled out. Now, in this one here, it was during the Katrina time, Hurricane Katrina in Louisiana, and they lawyers was coming from there. But I'm going to tell you what I did before I even went here. I went all the way, I told you, to the top. But before I had this here filed and got an attorney, I did everything myself. But I'm going to show you what I did first. This was my first step. When I went through every channel that I could go to try to get these people to address the discrimination. So I went to the Missouri Commission on Human Rights. Now, I want you to look and see. You see where it says reference Raymond L. Ivy versus Flying J Traveling Plaza, Country Mark Restaurants. But this letter here, this is the final letter, and it told me that they found probable cause. I'm going to read the last part of it, where it's saying, following a finding of probable cause, this agency is required by law to endeavor to eliminate the unlawful discriminatory practice by conference, conciliation, and persuasion. Although you may have questions regarding the conciliation stage, please be advised that it may be several weeks before our conciliator can contact you. We appreciate your patience in this matter, and you may rest assured that this case will be dealt with as soon as possible. You see where that's coming from? Carol Rice, at the time, secretary to the commission. But I want to show you something else. You see where it's addressed to. I'm going to show you something. I'm finna show you what they find and say. You see what it is? Same thing. Finding a probable cause, meaning that what I said they seen was true. Based upon the investigation, the executive director, not the investigator, not the intake personnel, but the executive director finds and determine, 1, a complaint has been timely filed, to wit, within 180 days after the alleged act of discrimination. 2, responded, which is the people that I complained about. Responded is a place of public accommodations within the meaning of chapter 2:13. If you don't know what it is, look it up. No disrespect. 3, probable cause exists to credit the following. Responded, the people Flying J that I went up against. The respondent discriminated against complainant in a place of public accommodation due to his race, black. I ain't done. See, once the executive director undetermined that is discrimination, sometimes it don't have to go to the executive director. In the investigation stage, if the people want to accept the fact what they did wrong and try to correct it, not partially, but correct it totally, then it won't have to go to the executive director. But the executive, when they go to the executive director, they either find probable cause or no probable cause. They find probable cause, that means your complaint had merit. But it say, therefore, the executive director shall immediately endeavor to eliminate the unlawful discriminatory practice complained of by conference, conciliation, or persuasion. You see, sometimes these people, they don't want to accept. Flying J offered me, well, I filed for about 20 other people. But when you get to lying and not telling the truth, especially when you're bishops and all that there, then it mess yours up. That's why I file solo on anything. And I don't file just to file. I file to get justice and respect. Harriet Tubman said it real good. She said, there's 2 things that I have a right to. If I don't have one, I will get the other, and that's liberty or death. Now, I'm going to show you something else where I'm presently going up against the Charleston Housing Authority. Just like Flying J, they often wanted to offer me 2 free meals. I didn't want none of their food because I didn't even like their food. But some of the people that was on the thing with me, you seen it said Raymond, Ivy, etc., they wanted to accept that. But you see, when you know that your rights is being violated, you need to do you some research. You don't stop because the NAACP or Benjamin Crump or Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton don't help you. I'm doing my best to help other people, but I can't help everybody. You see what I'm saying? I need reps, but I'm going to show you something else. Now, some of y'all familiar with this here. This is a recent case in 2022. It's in the Human Rights Commission stage, and investigation stage right now, because the executive director of the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority banned and barred me from all the housing authority properties, including public places like the Civic Center, where I go as an NAACP member. Me and my 2 young daughters, 16 and 17, go as NAACP members going to meetings there. But now they moved it to the Helen Curran Center, and that's still a part of something that they allow, I don't know how, the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority to be over it. And at the same time, they have a convicted voter fraud felon that runs 99 or 100% of the programs there. Same felon and another felon convicted of rape is on the zone committee here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. But when you go up against these people, just tell the truth. You see what I'm saying? Tell the truth. That's all you got to do. Don't add no lies and don't leave nothing out. Make dates of everything that happens. I dated this complaint here all the way back to November of 2021. This complaint against these people, the executive director of the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority here in Mississippi County, is for discrimination in retaliation. When I made a complaint to him in the hood in St. Louis, he retaliated by barring me from every place. But yet he want to offer me a settlement agreement to partially lift the ban that he put on me. But the ban is illegal, period. Just like this letter is. You don't see nothing signed by no judge. You don't even see nothing stamped. You don't even see no notary. We don't know if this one he actually typed the letter up. But he didn't deliver it. Nobody from the housing authority delivered it. An illegal person delivered it with a badge. He's supposed to serve and protect, but he's serving and protecting the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority executive director, but he ain't serving and protect me. The housing authority executive director don't pay him taxes. I pay for his job. But I'm going to leave for right now, y'all. Don't give up. You see, Donald Trump thought he was above the law. Look what happened to him. Hitler thought he was above the law. My dad, I give it to him. May he rest in peace. He was a World War II veteran. 18 years old, went over there going up against Hitler. You see what happened to Hitler? It was separated. Germany was separated. You see what happened to the Roman Empire? It came down. You see Trump and his family, they coming down. And let me tell you something else. These NAACP presidents, state conference presidents, national presidents, and some of these other 2+ million members, and some of them 2,200 plus presidents of these NAACP chapters, God gonna bring y'all down too. You see what I'm saying? One thing about God, God don't like wrong, and he don't like you to misuse the weak. The strong you may rule over the weak, but the wise rule them both. Peace be still.